Incoming transmission standby. Welcome to the Nod News Network. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has commented on his government's accusations against New Delhi as relations between the two countries hit a new low. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Tuesday that Canada is not seeking to provoke India by accusing it of involvement in the murder of a Sikh separatist leader, but wants New Delhi to look into the matter seriously. According to Reuters, Mr. Trudeau emphasized the seriousness of the incident, saying it has profound implications for international law. He said that the Indian government must take this issue very seriously. "This is what we do not seek to provoke or degrade." His remarks come amid rapidly rising diplomatic tensions over Canada's charges against India for its alleged involvement in the assassination of Sikh separatist leader Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada in June this year. India listed Nijjar as a terrorist in 2020. Earlier in the day, New Delhi strongly rejected Canada's accusations, calling them unreasonable and motivated. Trudeau caused a diplomatic standoff Monday when he raised in a speech to the Canadian Parliament what he called credible allegations that the Indian government had murdered the Indian independence activist Sikh in Ontario earlier this year, although he provided no evidence. Canadian Foreign Minister Melanie Joly then announced the immediate expulsion of a senior Indian diplomat whom she identified as the head of India's Foreign Intelligence Agency, Research and Intelligence Wing, AFP reported. A few hours later, India responded with corresponding action. According to Indian media, New Delhi has expelled the head of Canadian intelligence in India, Olivier Silvestri, who had 5 days to leave the country. A senior Canadian government source told Reuters that evidence of India's alleged involvement in Nijjar's killing will all be shared at the appropriate time. Government sources also told Reuters that Canada has been working closely with the United States on the issue, including on Trudeau's statement on Monday. Statements expressing deep concern about Canada's allegations against India were issued by the United Kingdom, Australia, and the United States. India's Ministry of External Affairs responded to Canada's allegations in strong diplomatic language, expressing New Delhi's growing concerns about the interference of Canadian diplomats in our internal affairs and their participation in anti-India activities. Meanwhile, Sikh organizations in Canada welcomed Trudeau's decision. Speaking at a news conference in Ottawa on Tuesday, World Sikh Organization of Canada President Mukbir Singh called on the Trudeau government to act quickly, including identifying and bringing to justice those responsible. Nijjar murder, protecting Sikhs in Canada and conducting an investigation scrutinizing Indian diplomats and officials in Canada, as well as stopping the sharing of intelligence data. Canada has a large Sikh population. According to many Indian authorities, there are small factions within this community that still support the idea of an independent Sikh state, known as the Khalistan movement. Hours after India announced its decision to retaliate by expelling a Canadian diplomat on Tuesday, the Canadian embassy in New Delhi was reportedly closed and local staff were quickly instructed to leave, press agency INS reported, citing sources. The report also stated that in an email, all embassy staff were asked not to speak to the media or post anything on social media. The diplomatic mission refused to comment on developments when contacted by this agency. Despite threats from pro-Khalistan activists against India and its diplomats, New Delhi remains concerned about what it sees as inaction against radical Sikh groups. India views these groups as a security threat both at home and abroad and has raised the issue with the governments of Canada, the United Kingdom, the United States and Australia. As for Canada, the issue was discussed most recently this month when Indian and Canadian leaders met on the sidelines of the G20 summit in New Delhi. This has been the Nod News Network, transmission complete.